on free throws, 0 for 10 from the field.
North Crowley will inbound in the backcourt. Jalen McLeod, Caleb Banks, Brandon Webb, Nick Boone, and Lawrence Odier's on the floor.
A lot of time left in this game, but now's a good time to attack Martin because you've got them against the ropes. They're struggling from the field. Now's the time to get your points.
Banks operates in the backcourt against Hamler. Hamler's going to be called for the foul. That's his second personal foul. Just the second team foul on the Warriors. It's really not been a lot of fouls. Physical game, but not a lot of fouls called against either squad. Caleb Banks brings it up against Hamler. He's in the center circle. Banks hits Odier's in the high post. Odier's left wing to Boone. Boone drives to the elbow, kicks top of the key to Banks. Banks drives the lane again, and he's going to be fouled. This one called against Hamler again. That's 3 on Hamler.
A little
frustration
foul. A little frustration foul seems like out of Hamler. He's a little aggressive.
And that's not a good foul for Hamler. That was his 4th personal foul instead of his 3rd. Dotson coming into the game as Hamler takes a seat. Inbound goes to Banks. Banks top the key to Boone. Boone left corner to McLeod. Jalen McLeod's 3-point attempt, no good. Brandon Webb working on the rebound. Caught a piece of IELTS, however. And that foul is going to go against Webb. That's his 3rd personal foul.
Anytime you swing hard enough to knock the young man's glasses off his head, you realize you're going to be called for that foul.
And I think not just knock the glasses off, but knock a lens out as they were actually attached. But Webb will take a seat. Rod Young into the game for North Crowley. Jalen McLeod also sitting down. Inbound IELTS. IELTS gets it across to Swearingen. Swearingen dribbles, gets to Babb in the right corner. Babb up top of the key to IELTS. IELTS against Banks. IELTS to the high left corner for Dotson. Dotson gets it to the corner to Swearingen. Back to Dotson as they spread the Panthers with 30 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Dotson drives and pulls back out. He's working against Boone. Boone not letting him get by. Ball comes loose. Caleb Banks up with it for the Panthers, and North Crowley looking to run. There's the pass to Simmons and the easy bucket. Nice work by North Crowley, and they're up 37-27 with 10 seconds to go.
Not a smart foul. Not a smart foul.
Tough one there against Kevin Simmons. He was trying to cut off the sideline, but didn't get there in time as Babb dribbled by. He's going to get called for the foul.
Another turnover for the Panthers. Again, forcing Martin into a turnover. It turns into points, and that's what the Panthers need.
37-27 North Crowley, 8.8 to go in the 3rd quarter. Babb inbounds to Dotson on the left side. He works against Boone. Dotson dribbling up, goes behind his back, and there's McLeod to come over for the steal. Spots up from 3 feet inside the half-court line and knocks down the 3 at the buzzer. That's got to be, a 35-footer for Jalen McLeod to end the 3rd quarter. Panthers with a 15-2 explosion coming out of the locker room. It's 40-27 North Crowley. And you want to talk about momentum, not much better momentum swing than that right there.
That's a great job. That really is going to put a lot of time to play. Still got a whole period. But what it does is it takes this Martin crowd out of the game. I mean, the Martin Maniacs across their student section have really, while they've stood up the whole game, they've been really quiet because they haven't had a lot to cheer about. Martin's not shooting the ball very well this half from the floor. The Panthers hitting that 30, 40-footer running 3 at the buzzer really, really, really hurts Martin at this point.
7 of 13 in the 3rd quarter for North Crowley. They started to heat up a little bit. Jalen McLeod's got 17 after that long 3. Nick Boone has 6. Kevin Simmons has 6. Brandon Webb has 6. Banks has 3, and Odier's has 2.
More defensively for the Panthers, you always like to hold an opponent to scoreless from the field. Got their 2 points from the free throw line. They're 0 for 11 from the field, and that just has to do a lot with the Panthers' pressure.
Warrior ball to start the 4th quarter of play. A little bit of pressure from Torrance Neal, and the inbounds pass goes out of bounds. That's not the way you want to start off the 4th quarter if you are the Warriors.
Boy, Panthers take momentum with that running 3 at the period, And now Martin gives them momentum with that simple little turnover on the sideline.
Brandon Webb and Caleb Banks check in for the Panthers as ODAs and Young take a seat. Torrance Neal inbounds to McLeod. McLeod operates in the backcourt against Swearingen. McLeod brings it into the front court. Swearingen all over McLeod. McLeod able to break the shoulders and get to the hole. Basket no good. McLeod pulls away the offensive rebound, however, and gets it out to Torrance Neal. Neal operates at the top of the key.
Martin's defenders are really getting physical, and the officials are letting them play.
Swearingen comes over to trap. Neal kicks high right corner to McLeod. Swearingen back over to him. McLeod goes right to the lane, lays it off to Brandon Webb, who goes up. His shot blocked by Garrett. Ball goes out of bounds, and it'll belong to Martin. Nice block from Miles Garrett. He's gotten a couple of them tonight.
It's early on in the period, but Brackle's already making some offensive, defensive substitutions.
Norrance ODAs and Rod Young checking into the game for the Panthers as Simmons and Webb take a seat. Iltz inbounds to Babb. He's got Young on him. Young picking up full court, looking to harass Babb. There's a trap from Neal. Gets it out to Iltz into the front court. Iltz forced to throw it away as he was off balance. Babb trying to keep it alive, but ODAs secures the loose ball. Not quite able to grab it, however. It goes out of bounds and belongs to the Warriors. Martin really looking out of sorts here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Big ODAs is using his big body to help Iltz get off balance there. He can't get hold of the basketball.
Inbound goes to Babb. He works against Young. Gets a running start, maybe a little push, no call. Back to Iltz. Iltz gets it high right wing to Miles, operating against ODAs. Gets it into the lane to Swearingen. Swearingen backs it out. He operates against Boone. Pass over to Iltz on the high left wing. Neal on him. Right wing to Dotson. Right corner to Swearingen. Boone handsy all in the corner, forcing Swearingen into a very tough spot. Swearingen forced to throw the ball off of Boone out of bounds. Nick Boone really getting into him in the corner.
Well, you mentioned it, Brian, and Martin's looking out of sorts. It's a really important possession for him right here. It's really important they get something out of this. Panther pressure's getting to him. Babb's having to take a seat because it looked like he got elbowed.
Martin inbounds to Hamler. Hamler to the right wing to Iltz. He has Neal on him. Iltz goes baseline, shot no good, and there's Rod Young pulling down the board again for the Panthers. We're going the other way.
Boy, Jalen did a good job staying on that block, not making that shot easy.
McLeod gets it back up to Neal near the center circle. He dribbles up to the high right corner. Gets past Iltz, but Iltz reaches in for the tap away ahead to Iltz, and he's able to lay it in. An easy bucket for the Warriors, and that's one they really needed. It's 40-29 North Crowley with 6 minutes to go. ODA's in the front court. He's got Miles on him. Into Neal, high right corner. Neal gets past two into the lane. Couple of big steps past the Swearingen. He's fouled, and he's going to go to the line for two.
Yeah, when Neal starts to move his body around, Swearingen has to lean into him, and he gets that foul driving down the lane.
That bucket by Iltz ended a 15-2 run by North Crowley. Neal trying to get him started on another one. He gets the first free throw. Kevin Simmons into the game for the Panthers. Chad Jordan, a 6'2" senior wing, onto the floor for the Warriors.
The good news on something like this, Brian, is that you just trade buckets with them from here on out. You win by 13. It's not a big deal.
Torrance Neal's second free throw is good. It's North Crowley 42, Arlington Martin 29 as Caleb Banks checks in and Neal gets a seat. Inbound goes to Hamler. Hamler works against Banks. Long pass to Dotson. Dotson drives the hole against ODA's. Nothing there. Rebound is going to go out of bounds. Last touch by North Crowley. It'll belong to Martin. Rod Young coming into the game for the Panthers. Nick Boone will take a seat. 42-29 North Crowley with 5:43 to play. Hamler inbounds. The lob to Garrett Miles, who was all by himself, able to flush it down. 42-31 Panthers, and that'll get the Martin crowd back into the game with 5:30 to play.
It does. It's a nice play, and it's good to see. People love to see dunks, but they're still only worth 2 points.
Jalen McLeod, a nifty floater in the lane, drops 44-31. McLeod starting to do a good job of getting into the paint and knock down some of those shots. Great anticipation by McLeod as he steps in to steal the pass. Goes hard to the hole. His shot is blocked by Miles. Out of bounds. Miles Garrett out of bounds. It'll still belong to North Crowley. You like to see the aggressive play from McLeod, really taking it hard to the hole. Even if the shot doesn't go, you like that decision.
You know, you're absolutely right, Brian. Not trying to talk it down at all. What you like to see with that also is Jalen take his body into Big Miles and make sure that you get to the free throw line.
Panthers with Simmons, Webb, Young, Banks, and McLeod. McLeod will inbound from the baseline.
You know, McLeod, the Martin fans get fired up because they see a dunk, they see a big block, but you still look up at the scoreboard and you're still down by 13.
Rod Young near the center circle, the right corner to McLeod. He operates against Babb. McLeod takes it up near the half-court line, spins right by Babb, goes to the hole. A high shot. He's going to get called for the offensive foul, however. Miles Garrett got there and stood his ground instead of trying to go for that block, and McLeod gets called for the charge.
That's a little bit of Jalen trying, and he's trying. He's trying hard to answer. Got called for the charge there. Not a bad call.
Torrance Neal and Lawrence Odiers into the game for the Panthers. Caleb Banks with the steal on the inbounds pass. He goes straight to the hole. His shot no good. Rebound by Jordan. Martin takes it the other way. Iltz into the lane. Dishes off to Garrett Miles, but they're going to call the offensive foul. Lawrence Odiers once again does a great job of getting in front of the penetrator, doesn't move his feet, and takes the charge.
Another good job by the Panthers. The thing you're seeing right now, Brian, is the Panthers are answering everything on both ends of the floor. They get a charge, we get a charge. They get a dunk, we get a layup.
You really got to like that out of your 6A player who's willing to stand in there and take the charge and not try to block everything out of the gym.
Absolutely. You're exactly right.
Caleb Banks brings it up. He works against Babb. Panthers up 44-31 with 4:45 to play. Gets it to Boone on the left wing. Boone with a high screen from Odiers. Kicks to the corner to Banks, whose three-point attempt is short. Rebound goes to Babb.
He rushed that a little bit.
Pass ahead to Jordan. Jordan takes it out behind the three, kicks over to Babb. High right wing. Babb pulls it out. He operates against Simmons. Hands off to Dotson on the right wing. Gets it to Iltz at the top of the key. Back to Dotson right wing. Dotson drives baseline, takes to the hole. His shot blocked hard by Odiers out of bounds, but a foul called. Looks like they're going to get Nick Boone with the body on that one. That's Boone's third. Dotson to the line to shoot two.
Okay, you don't want to see this. You don't want to let Martin get back in this by shooting free throws.
4-4 this quarter with 4:08 to play. Dotson gets the first one. Jalen McLeod back into the game for the Panthers as Caleb Banks takes a seat.
Very important that the Panthers come back and answer this with their own bucket. Remember, the clock's on our side. We don't have to force anything.
Second free throw good for Dotson. Arlington Martin looking to pressure full court. Torrance Neal inbounds. Gets Boone on the right sideline. Back to Neal under the basket. Panthers will clear it out. It's a full court man. Torrance Neal brings it up against Iltz. Gets it into the front court. Finds Simmons in the corner. Simmons gets into the lane and gets the floater up and over Chad Jordan. Bucket is good.
Boy, that little running floater that Simmons puts up has become a really, really good shot for him.
Dotson on the left wing. Near the center circle to Iltz. Iltz gets to the top of the key. Kicks to the corner to Babb. Babb's three-point attempt is good.
That's the first three-pointer for Martin tonight.
Neal inbounds to Boone. Boone to Neal. He's trapped in the corner. Panthers going to call timeout. Heads up play by Torrance Neal. Calling timeout. He got trapped, got stuck a little bit.
They got stuck. You're exactly right. What you hate to see on inbounds like that when they start pressure and they're going to trap is